Okay, we're back. Now let's continue by adding the formers to both tubes. Now, in the PDF, it's indicated approximately what is the distance that you have to keep from the edge of the tube all the way down, where you would be placing the former. You can just eyeball it and approximately just glue the former at about an inch, about a little more than an inch deep into the tube, or if not, just use a ruler and measure what is indicated here, 30 millimeters. So I measured an eye along the whole circumference. I have placed lines where I will be gluing the former. I have done that on both ends, okay, and also I have marked down on the smaller tube. So we are going to apply glue on this part, just a little bit of glue there so you can slide in the former. On previous videos, especially in the video of the hopper, you can check it out. I show you how to assemble a former. It has two parts, and these are already dried and these are ready to go. And remember, you can, the way I cut this is for you to put your fingers and to handle it better while you are putting it inside the tube, keeping these triangular shapes pointing to your hand. This way it will go down this way. Alright, so I'm going to show you. I haven't applied glue yet, but it's as easy. They just slide in and there, and it will be just a matter of aligning with the marking dots that I already made. Okay, that's the whole idea, to keep it even. Alright, so let's apply glue. We're going to apply glue. Let me put the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to apply glue. Wait, let me put my glass. Just a little bit like that. Following all the dots. Alright, that's it. Now we're going to put the former carefully inside and just try to align it with where you put the glue. You can feel it, that it's touching the glue. If you push it too deep, just with your finger, just pull it up. Simple as that. And then try to make it even. So now you have the idea how this is done. The whole idea is just to put the former well leveled, parallel to the edge of of the body. Alright, good. You're going to leave it. This is to be done on both ends. Okay, we're going to do the rest. Now on the second, on the smaller segment that we already have put the interior wall, notice that it's there, right there in the limit where the wall, the top of the edge of the wall ends. It's where you're going to be placing the former. And I haven't glued, okay, I haven't glued it yet, but in this case you push it all the way in until you hit the wall. You can hit the wall, turn it, and then you can start closing the gap until you can see that the former is hitting the edge of the wall. Alright. That is what we're going to be doing, but it's the whole thing, okay? And I have already made the engine section. On a previous video I already showed you how I assembled this entire piece. You're going to see it, and this just slides in just beautifully there, all the way down. That's the whole purpose, okay? That's what you're gonna do later. So we're just going to put it in. So that former will be the sealing of the bulkhead where it's going to be glued. Alright, so let's remove this, and we're going to apply glue, and we're going to glue all these formers together, and then we will continue. Okay, let's continue. We're now applying glue to this piece here. Alright. Alright, I'm going to leave it in this position, so if I have put too much glue, it will, by gravity, it will go down. Now I'm going to prepare the former. Same thing. And just in case, to be sure, we're going to put glue on the very edge, so with no doubt you will have this former be glued with the top of the engine wall. And this is important because this is where the bulkhead is going to be glued, and it has to be perfectly glued. Okay. Now I'm going to clean my hands. Going to turn this upside up. Going to slide it in. If you make a mistake, pull it out immediately. Go and see if, okay, there's nothing. Good. Let's do it again. Carefully lowering it all the way until you hit, lower the whole piece until you hit the top of the wall, and from here you're going to start pushing it There. If not, pull it down. You gotta be very careful. This former is key, so the bulkhead can be glued evenly. You don't want this to go beyond the wall, otherwise the bulkhead is not going to be even. Okay. Yes, this step is crucial. I'm pushing with my finger here just to be sure that the former is hitting the wall. Okay, it's hitting the top of the engine wall that we have glued. Alright, so we're gonna let it dry, and now we can proceed to putting the other former on this line. We're going to apply that. You have to hold it lightly. We're going to apply glue here, connecting these markings that I did. Alright, we get our other former, same procedure. We're going to slide it in and you see that it's if you have pushed in too much, you just pull it up. Alright, there, there, beautiful. Okay, so now we have our two segments already. We have installed their formers. Okay, we're going to connect them through this part. We're going to glue these both parts together. So let's do that. Pretty sure it has to be aligned perfectly. Let's use some tweezer. Hold it tight there. Alright. Good. And this part is going to be curved and glued on the bottom part. Let's wait until it dries a little bit more. Now we can start by holding the seam line. You can start curving each end like this. So there you go. We have this, and it will just be a matter of gluing it to the top. Okay. Alright, let's continue. Now, this connector is going to be glued on the bigger segment. Let's orient ourselves. This is tricky. Look the reference page. There are these small triangles. They're along the entire body, front and back. The triangle, the angle that is pointing down, this triangle points to the bottom of the rocket. Alright, so this will be the top of the rocket where you're going to glue the nose cone. So again, this triangle is pointing this way, and this is the bottom, and here this will be where you're going to connect this. Okay, let's put glue on this edge. Alright, spread the glue like a film. Spread the glue evenly. And just apply this, close it like this, and start aligning. There's a dash line here. Just align, do one segment first, hide the line, and go all over. This part has to be glued evenly, following the contour of the tube. There's going to be a little gap. It is going to leave a small gap like that. That would allow some flexibility when you slide in this part to the next portion. Alright, we're going to let it dry, but this section is ready to go to be glued with this. We have to let this dry, and then we're going to follow the how to orient these two parts to be well glued together. Okay, and now we are ready to glue these two parts. Alright, let's orient ourselves. This is the bottom portion where it has the engine wall. So we're going to apply glue on this edge. Not too much. Just put glue like this, and if there's an excess, you will need to remove it. Alright. Spread the glue like this. I'm not applying more glue, I'm just spreading all this glue like a film, thin film. Alright, now this segment, this other segment that has this tab that we already put, remember where you see the gap, strike, just slightly curving it, preparing it, because sometimes it's a little tricky to get this part slide into the next tube. Just manage to fold it a little bit like that, and let's align. Remember the reference page at the end of the PDF that tells you what is front and what is back. So the two parts that have these ovals, these markings, indicate that's the front. Alright, be careful, and we're going to align the seam lines. Everything is glue, seam line with seam line. So let's do this right away because we have applied glue. So noticing that this is front and front, seam line with seam line. I'm going to cover first the part that has a little gap. I'm going to put the tube like this, and I'm going to start moving it, wiggling it around, wiggling it until you can feel that oh, there it is. Okay, we have circle. Now we align the seam line with seam line. Be sure that this is front and front because of these ovals. And now with the seam line, press it. Basically that's it. It will sit there. Just be sure to press on the curve that we have connected both sides there. Good, so well oriented, seam line with seam line, seam line with seam line. This is the front and this is the back. All the lines match. Very good. So we have the full body of the Starship ready, and we're going to now place the nose cone and then the wings and the canards. Alright, until our next video where we'll do the nose cone.